Our politics editor, Lukhanyo Calata, joins me now in our studio to unpack all of this. Lukhanyo, good afternoon to you. I mean, there are plenty of headaches for the president, but surely load shedding is the headache of all headaches.
Yes, it is. And the worst part of it is there's nothing that he can do about it because it's all dependent on other people. For instance, the people at Eskom, Andre de Ruyter, his COO, Leigh-Ann Oberholzer, what they do in terms of managing the various power plants. Gwede Mantashe, what he does as the Minister of Energy and his department in supporting Eskom, as well as obviously the Ministry of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, and what they do in supporting Eskom and De Ruyter and Leigh-Ann Oberholzer in making sure that Eskom is it runs in the way that it's supposed to. So the president is really just a figurehead. Yes, he can demand answers and all of that, but he can't really do anything because it's really dependent on other people.
It's also, it shows you how big the problem is. I mean, if there's one thing that perhaps could really damage the ANC in the 2024 elections, it's this. And I mean, you know, this is no secret, and yet it seems incapable of fixing what's a huge problem for the country.
Look, yes, I think the issue of Eskom and its failures, and the ANC government's failures itself to correct what has now been load shedding since, 2007, the first time we experienced it. Alec Irwin was still the minister at the time. Do you remember they came up with the thing of a bolt in one of the generation units at Koeberg? So, you know, and it just seems the ANC government has been completely unable to fix this problem. Is it going to hurt the ANC in 2024? Possibly, but more than it has over the last 15 years? We don't know. You know, because the ANC still does have about 2 years, and you know how quickly we forget. If in the next 6 months or within the next year, we're dealing with stage 1 or stage 2, you know, South Africans will forget this period, and then the ANC will make us promises come 2024, and you know, South Africans will vote based on those promises, forgetting that there is a serious problem that is facing our economy, that is facing our country, and the development thereof.
So the president comes back, and it's a curious decision in a way. He doesn't have to be at the United Nations General Assembly, but he is giving that up. I mean, a chance on the world stage, make a speech in front of people. Leaders usually like that. He is coming back, and I don't really know what he achieves by coming back, except to say that if he didn't come back, we'd probably be angrier than we are now.
Yeah. I think it's, you know, that thing, Stephen, of, you know, the parents are away and, you know, the house is on fire. When the parents come back, the house is already on fire. Can they really put it out? We don't know. But if they stay away longer, you know, what's the impact of that? I doubt that, as I said, that the president is going to be able to achieve much, other than maybe demand a couple of answers as to why things went so hectically awry in the couple of days that he was out of the country. Maybe he came back because he thought it's an embarrassment to him, to his government, as well as to the party. But, you know, we spoke to a couple of people on the streets today, and almost all of them were telling us that, you know what, yes, he's back. Yes, there's going to be a cabinet meeting tomorrow, but how much is really going to come out of it? Because ultimately, we're still going to have load shedding tomorrow. We're probably still going to have load shedding for the rest of the week.
There's so much that comes out of all of this, and you've got the opposition parties sort of on the march, the EFF, the Democratic Alliance, everyone's got a view on this. I don't know if I really see realistic solutions from what they're saying either, but it certainly provides an opportunity for them to raise their voices, start speaking, start hurling insults at people.
Remember, Stephen, that political parties, they live literally just to sustain themselves. So they would use an opportunity like this one, not necessarily to come forward and put solutions on the table, but just to blame. Right? And we understand that the ANC and the government that it leads should be blamed for a lot. And load shedding is squarely on the shoulders of the African National Congress. But really, what solutions are these parties bringing forward? What are they assisting? Are they going and saying, look, here are individuals that we think would be able to help us move forward, other than hurling insults and you know, the blame game? I think as a country, we deserve better. We deserve far better than, opposition parties that really just hurl insults and blame. We need parties come to the fore to say, you know what, African National Congress, you have failed us in this regard. This is what you need to do to take us forward.
Lukhanyo, stay with us, because there was a comment made today by the Cooperative Governance Minister, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, and she said that she welcomes the nomination by her ward to run for the country's top job, the leadership of the ANC and ultimately the presidency. But she said, in the end, it will be up to ANC branches to decide who will lead the ANC in December.
I have welcomed it. The basic unit of the ANC is the branch. So it's the branches that must pronounce what they think should happen. And it's the branches that nominate. So yes, I welcome it. Individuals have their views, but at the end of the day, right now, we're looking at the branches nominating. And if the branches nominate and if the branches vote, that's what will come out in December.
So the Cooperative Governance Minister there very clearly saying she's running, not giving any indications of an agenda, not giving any indications of a team that's behind her. How do you see her campaign? I mean, obviously early days, Lukhanyo.
Look, her campaign, as far as we understand, Stephen, is supported very much by her ex-husband, former President Jacob Zuma, who, when Ace Magashule, Tony Yengeni, Dakota Legoete, and Suprama Umapelo went to go and visit him earlier this month, apparently it was at that meeting where Zuma said, listen, please ensure that my ex-wife is the presidential candidate that will go up ultimately against Cyril Ramaphosa in December 2016. So, she has the support of the president, of the former president at least. What that will do, towards the faction that is hoping to oust Cyril Ramaphosa in December, we're just going to have to wait and see. But again, with Lindiwe Sisulu having raised her hand, with Ace Magashule, vying for that same nomination, with Zweli Mkhize making it very clear last week that he was definitely in the running. So we've got all of these candidates, and whether or not one of them is going to emerge towards December to challenge President Cyril Ramaphosa, we don't know. But it clearly can't be all three of them going in. Otherwise, that vote will be divided, and Cyril Ramaphosa comes out the clear winner in a case like that.
Lukhanyo Calata, thanks very much indeed. Our political editor, he's going to be on board between now and December.